So proud of these kids. Just their effort, throughout the whole basketball game, and just their attitude leading into the game. Obviously, we were very disappointed Sunday with the outcome. We felt like we played good enough to win, but we didn't win. We watched the film, and we watched the film of LSU, and we did not hang our heads. We watched. We saw what we could do. I think we gained confidence out of it. And we came in with our approach. And obviously playing against Tennessee in itself is going to be tough just because of the rivalry. Tennessee is Tennessee. Kim's doing a tremendous job with that program. It's very unique, very unique. So it's kind of hard to prepare for it. We played off of our experiences last year going against them when they were at Marshall. Obviously they had, excellent athletes this year. With it, we knew it was going to be a challenge, but both of these kids played against that system. We knew what to expect. We executed our game plan, and a lot will be said about what we did on the offensive end. But I thought our defense was tremendous. Held them to 30-some percent, 31% shooting, I think it was. Rebounded the basketball at a very high clip, and so we can rebound 52-31. But I just thought the kids did a really good job, and I'm very, very proud of them.
We'll start with Caroline.
Clara, you are now perfect from the field in each of your games against Team Caldwell. What is it about this system that you feel like you can really excel against it?
I think overall as a team, just excelling against it because we were ready. We knew we were going to go up and down a lot. So I think just being ready and knowing that you're going to get your opportunities, so just being able to knock it down when you get it.
You were on a poster before the game with your girls, your triplets, and you guys set 2 school records. Actually, you all set 1 school record, and you set 1 yourself. What's it been like being a part of that group and reaching these new heights as individuals? I know you love the team.
Are you trying to say this is going to be Claire Strack Day 2?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I think it's special. Not on a lot of teams do you have that, so I think it's really cool to play with them and to be able to work off of them and work with them.
Hi.
Georgia, early in the first quarter, they started doubling you before even half court, and you see Claire leaking. I think all of us were kind of like, well, Georgia can make that pass, and you hit her. So can you talk about the chemistry and how you're able to, put yourself in this situation?
We spent practice going over scenarios like that. We did a passing drill for the first time in maybe 12 years of my life. Fundamental skip passes. And it worked. Coach Brooks puts us in positions where it's spacing, and we put the defense in a position to pick your poison. And as soon as I saw the Tennessee girl rise, I knew that Clara was going to be exactly where she needed to be.
Coach, on Sunday you told me that all season you've been trying to figure out what kind of team this is and learn what kind of team this is. How would you describe the team that walked out there tonight and probably played their best basketball game of the season?
You know what? They're resilient. They're fun. They come to work every day. This has probably been the least amount that I've raised my voice ever as a coach during the whole year. Just because they get it, they understand it, they know what the assignment is, and they work extremely well together. And it's one of the things that we talked about. As a group, we were trying to build chemistry, and we did it all organically. We didn't go anywhere with any excursions and doing any of that stuff. We just let them hang with each other, and the chemistry that they found. First and foremost, they're great kids, and they work. And even though sometimes it didn't even get talked about enough, but we had 2 injuries at the beginning of the summer that could have been devastating to our program. But they all stepped up, and they had to play a little bit extra or a different position. They all did it with a big smile on their face, and talked about the triplets, and they formed that, and to be able to play off of each other. Georgia's leadership, Deja Lawrence's leadership, it has all come together because they've been willing to sacrifice a little bit of themselves for the betterment of the team. So when they came out today, I knew they were confident because of their preparation leading up to the week. I saw it in their faces. I shot with those 2 before the game. They looked good, and we knew we were going to get opportunities. And I was very proud that they stepped up and they were aggressive and took them.
Kenny, after the handshake line, you
Yannick staff, you're clapping, you're throwing your hands up in the air, pumping the crowd up. I mean, this wasn't just fun tonight. This was a fun season in this building. And obviously the season's not over, but how special has this season been, knowing it's been fun for you guys, fun for the fans, which they haven't had in a little while?
You know, I've coached, you know, championship teams at both places I've been before, and you know, this is right up there, you know, if not the best year, just because of collectively as a group, 1 through, what do we have, 13 kids. Everybody just works together. They're fun. I laugh and joke about it. Sometimes I was scared I was going to jinx myself, but they've never been late to a meeting. You know, they're always there. You know, whether I try to surprise them and get there 10 minutes early, they're there. You know, and they're ready to go. And you know, so when you have that type of mentality, good things are going to happen. And it's been a lot of fun this year, just watching. You know, I've been with her for 5 years. I'm watching her do things I've never seen her do before. You know, today she let the game come to her. You know, and as opposed to just really trying to attack it, and that's leadership and maturity. But she can do that because she has so much confidence in these kids. And then watching this one grow right in front of my eyes, you know, it's been fun, hasn't it? You know, and just what she's been able to do and her confidence. And then I think she's going to learn from Georgia and take over a leadership role, you know, next year. But you know, it's just been fun for me all year coming to practice with this group.
Coach, you held the #1 scoring team in the country, 31 points below their average. Just what does that mean to you, and you know, really just the team's ability to execute a defensive game?
You know, I've been saying it a lot, where you know, our offense, you know, Clara scores 23 points, Georgia has 18, and we can shoot the basketball. But our defense is pretty good, you know, and I think it gets overlooked because, you know, we don't do the things that some people think that defense is made of, like trapping and, you know, pressing and doing that kind of stuff. You know, we know what we're supposed to do. We're built off of, you know, guarding the paint. We have, you know, which is, I guess, the best shot blocking team in school history. And, you know, we're long, we're athletic. And so we go in and we contest the shots, and then we go out and we try to clean up the play and finish it by rebounding the basketball, and then we get it out and we're able to go. This year it's been a little bit more free. It's been more her calling, you know, the shots and what she wants out on the floor, or just going with the fast break because of our defense. And our defense is really, you know, giving us a lot of offensive opportunities. So I'm extremely proud, you know, of our defense because it doesn't get talked about as much, but we go in, game out, and we're holding people below their averages.
Clara and Coach, both tonight, you guys dominated the glass and the boards. Congratulations on that. I just wanted you to talk about that and for you, what Tiani does on the boards as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been a big focus lately. Obviously, we had to do that. So I think, I mean, just focusing on that and knowing, like, if we can do that, then we can really do anything. So
Clara has an ability. She sees ball, she gets ball, and you know, she's just going to go after it, and that's rare because she just has a knack for finding the basketball. She knows where it's going to come off. She'll stick her nose in there and she'll go get it. And she's one of the toughest kids that I've ever coached. You know, she hurt her thumb the other day against LSU, and you know, she's grabbing it, holding it, and there was never a question in my mind that she was going to be okay. You know, and so then she comes back and, you know, she just puts her nose in there to go get a rebound. And Tiani's the same way. Tiani has an ability to go get a rebound. It looks like she's going into the rafters when she grabs it sometimes. And then, you know, Amelia Hassett, you know, she, as a big guard, you know, she cleans up. I think she had 8 tonight. You know, so we have the ability. We went through a stretch where we just happened to be playing against, you know, a couple of the teams that are the best in the country at doing that. And they know they were doing that. And you know, and again, I kind of said it, you know, I wasn't whining, but it's just us too learning the SEC, because sometimes that shot goes up and sometimes that push in the back doesn't get called. And so we're like, okay, well, that's not going to get called. Well, we have to brace ourselves. But, you know, we have the ability to rebound with our length, and if we execute that, then we're in pretty good shape.
Coach, often by the national media, you hear them talking about the men's SEC, but the women's league for the SEC is just as strong, and you had a stretch of some of the best teams in the country, and you got another one coming up in the next game. As the home season ends, how has this this tough stretch prepared your group for the postseason? And with the amount of players you returned, what does it say about your team to do what they've done in this conference in year one?
Yeah, I mean, I heard it a lot. Are you guys ready for the SEC? And I'm like, okay, we're a good team too, and that's not being overconfident. It's just stating the fact. And if you don't believe you're a good team, then you're not going to survive in this league. And we know what we do well, and we just have to go out there and try to do it to the best of our ability. And I said it early on. I didn't think anyone was going to go undefeated in this league, and it's going to be a battle. And so the top three teams are what people can consider national contenders, and then we're right there, and we get to a point. And obviously, matchups are very important when you get to the NCAA tournament. We get favorable matchups, and we can go out and we can play our style of basketball. We've done it before, and we can go on a run. You can go on a run, and so I'm excited of who we are. I'm excited who we become, and I'm excited about who we can still become, with a few more games left to play, because we got the leadership, we've got inside scoring, we've got outside scoring, and our kids are getting confident.
Sierra.
Claire, can you talk about Silva's progress? Obviously, we talked about the triplets because you should, but you go up against Clara Silva.
Clada.
You go against her all the time in your practice, I'm sure. Can you just talk about her progress within the group?
Yeah, I mean, I think especially in the last two games, she's really showed up and really done a lot for us, and I think that's going to be really important for our team, like through the stretch of the postseason. I mean, she just works hard every day, so I think it's really special to see that coming from her.
Bailey Hines.
Georgia, Tennessee was in here earlier saying they just felt like they didn't have the resolve that they've had in the past to come back from deficits. I'm just wondering from your perspective, it felt like you guys just kept getting better as the quarters went on. Could you sense that comeback wasn't coming even though you've seen it in the past? Just what did you kind of see? Did you sense a frustration on the court?
Yeah, I mean, personally, we tried to get a focus on get them down, keep them down. I mean, if we did that against LSU, I think it's safe to say we would have won that, and that comes from us learning. But sometimes you just get a vibe, and sometimes you feel it, you can see it on body language and faces, and you have them right where you want them, and it kind of gives you a little bit of a boost as well.
Georgia, Coach said you're familiar with the system Tennessee plays, and it seems like that full court pressure plays into your wheelhouse when it comes to your skill set. I mean, could you talk about what it was like for you? Because you could negotiate that, find the open man, and use the whole 94. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I think the practice before this game, I was talking to Coach Hicks, and we were agreeing that this game is going to be fun. Fun because they give us opportunities, the style that they play. But we placed the emphasis on a team. I wouldn't have been able to survive without Deja Lawrence tonight or Tiani Key. The way that she was attacking their defense early in the first was a tone setter. So I think this whole focus, we knew that they were going to give us good looks, just to be patient. And right before the game started, Coach Brooks says, they're going to give you opportunities. They want you to be uncertain about it, but we can take them and we can make them. So we were just really, really confident with the looks we were going to get tonight.
Did you have one?
Coach, if I can follow up on that, last year when you played Marshall, did that help you in
Absolutely.
breaking the pass? You spoke about that, but can you be a little more specific on how that helped you prepare?
I was freaking out when we were ready to play Marshall, and I think we had practice, and I used eight practice players. Yeah, 8 practice players out there, and they were boys. They were long, and I told the guys, sick them. I said, go get them, and in the first 2 days we were preparing for it. I didn't sleep at all because we were horrible breaking it. And then we got out there and we played, and then Georgia picked up 2 fouls in the first couple minutes of the game, but we used our length. We used our length to see over top of it, and when we found holes, and I think we had a very comfortable margin that we beat them, and we got easy opportunities, and so I watched that game. I watched it again, and we did some of the same things that we did, and again for me. It's a very unique style, and it's a fun style, and it's the referees were tired, but I think that it really helped us. I think it really helped us to know that we've seen it before, and to be confident. Georgia said it. My mindset was, don't hesitate. you know, you're going to get an opportunity. And I said, when you get it, take it, because that defense will play tricks on you. Sometimes, you know, especially when the game gets going up and down, up and down, up and down, you know, you don't know whether to pull it back or to still attack if you haven't scored a few times. And I told them, I said, just go. And if you got your opportunity, step up and knock it down. And they did that. I think we probably only took maybe 2 or 3 shots that were probably ill-advised, and that was just because it got to the fourth quarter and we could have, you know, milked the clock a little bit. But we definitely gained experience from it, and it helped us just because we had some sense of familiarity with it, although it was different just because, you know, obviously Marshall was great, but Tennessee has, you know, better athletes, and they can execute it better.
We'll just take 2 more and we'll go Pie Phoenix.
Coach Brooks, after every loss this season, like clockwork, you've answered back with big wins. Now with one final giant in South Carolina, how do you keep the team humble but also confident at the same time?
Man, you trying to kill my vibe, huh? I'm sorry, got to go get a steak tonight, or and you tell me I got Dawn Staley, you know. No, you know, we know where we're getting into, and we know this is the best league in the country, and we know each and every night you're going to have an opportunity. And regardless of what happened the game before, the next one in front of you is an opportunity. And if you get to the point where you lose and you let that linger and you bring that mentality with you to the next one, it's going to hurt you again. And again, it goes back to what I talk about with these kids. They're great kids. You know, they want to learn. And I taught them, and I taught this particular group. I've taught the group before that. One of the things that I learned was from Kobe Bryant. And Kobe said, you know, you have to watch the bad games, you know, just like you watch the good games. And you can't just bring popcorn to try to get better because you played well. You know, you learn more from what you do when you don't do well. And these kids will come in, you know, my 2, I have those 2 as, you know, individual film, and the other coaches have some other players. And like clockwork, as win or lose, both of them have texted me after the game, what time do you want to watch film tomorrow? And they'll do it as soon as we leave here. And regardless of whether they play good or bad, you know, they want to try to get better. And that's how you turn the page regardless of what happens, and you get ready for the next opponent, because this league is too good to let anything linger to bring that into the next game.
Coach, we're just talking about Clara Silva's improvement. Just how much of that do you think is really, you know, of course, her being a freshman, kind of learning to kind of play more freely rather than like reacting rather than thinking about what should I do?
You know what, and we haven't had the ability to be patient with her because obviously the injuries, and we need her, to be, you know, productive for us. And but you can't hide the fact that she came over here the weekend before classes started. She knew no one other than us as coaches. But her parents came, and then they dropped her off, and then now she's here, and she didn't even think that she was coming. She had never been to Kentucky before. When she did her official visit at Virginia Tech. And so when we took the job here, she decided to come with us and never been here before. And so she's trying to get acclimated to anything, everything, and all the while probably dealing with a little bit of homesickness. And Georgia can attest to this. When you come over here and you leave your family and everything that you've known your whole life, it's an adjustment. And then you got, you know, a different style of basketball. You know, everything that she's played is nothing like this. It's nothing like this. And we've thrown her out there, and, you know, and she lost a little bit of confidence early. And we had to play off of Clara's experiences. You know, we played against Iowa. You know, we tried to talk about this. We played against Iowa last year, and Clara played 21 seconds. And it was probably, it was painful. I put her in, and all of a sudden I took her out, and I didn't put her back in. You know, so I had to tell Clara Silva, hey, okay, it happens. You're a freshman. Just learn a little bit more and more. And I think probably in the last couple of weeks we've seen, you know, the light bulb come on a little bit. And she's still not as good as she will be, but she's a lot better. And if she continues to do that, you know, she's an element that we can throw out there that a lot of people don't see because she's very skilled. She got fouled one time when she was about to break the press, and we were okay with that because she's very skilled and she can dribble the basketball, she can pass the basketball, she moves her feet very well for a 6'7" center, and the best from her is yet to come, and I think we're all excited, but we also understand that what she's actually going through, and that's, you know, just a cultural shock, and I think that she's coming out of it a little bit and probably at the right time.
Thank you so much for your coverage at home all season long.
Go Cats!